Hello everyone, it's Sloth here today with 100% win rate deck. This one is actually pretty strong. We went 3-0 and actually let's go into more results if you want. Well, it's hard to talk about spoilers right now. You kinda see what's the outcomes. I think we can open it. And yeah, basically we went 500 places in Mythic and we actually played like top Mythic players. So if you are curious about how it went, like we went against a guy who was 83, and man, like those guys were playing really nicely. So you can see not only how the deck plays out, but how to play on both sides and how to play control if enemy is actually doing correct stuff, which makes games much harder, believe me. When you play in like Platinum, people just flood the board, then you play a sweeper and that's it. Against good players, that's sometimes not enough. So on the deck we have quite a few interesting things, but we'll go through them very quickly in the deck intro. And yeah, that's what you can expect. And I think the deck is pretty strong. Like it's one of the big Esper decks right now, and it is for a reason. So let's delve into the deck list and see what's up. Okay, and we are in the deck list. So basically, before we start with the whole strategy and build thing, a few words because I know some of you skip the intro, and that's fine. That's fine. I know I'm talking way too long about it, but I'm excited about the cards usually, so you need to bear with me. And about the games that you will see. First of all, that they were really high mythic for some of them, like top 83 was no joke. And yeah, I think that's really worth watching. I think that will be the first one. And for the rest of the games, it actually was the most embarrassing mistake I have ever made in my life, and you will be witness to it. And yeah, like it doesn't feel great to put it in internet, but it is what it is. And I think that it was, yeah, a moment, let's say. So hopefully you will enjoy it, and yeah, some brain fart moments from my side. So we are always laughing at mono white players. Maybe I should try mono white as well. So that being said, the games were pretty interesting, I think. So go watch them, and if you want to see more context behind the deck, let's go into the deck list. So what deck is about? It is about some new cards. We have All-Seeing Arbiter, 6 mana that actually starts seeing some play. So basically 6 mana, 5/4 flying, and when it comes into battlefield or attack, so it's very similar to Sanctuary Warden. Same cost, same type of effect, but you draw 2 cards and discard a card. And if you have different mana costs, for each different mana cost in your graveyard, some creature gets -X to attack. But it gets it unless your next turn. It means that the attack phase from the enemy gets weaker. So basically you make one creature disabled for full turn, and you can get some mana fix, like you can draw cards and you have big creature on the board. And I believe it works even if this dies. So that really helps with card advantage and getting back into the game, and ATB effect is no joke. So yeah. And the overall strategy is very close to this. We have also Tainted Indulgence, so as you can see, this motive of 5 different mana costs or more is really something that the deck is about. This is also the reason why you can see that the costs are split pretty evenly. We even have like what, 5, 6 drops or higher. We have 4 Doomskars, so 5 cost, 4 Emperors, so 4 cost. We have quite a few of 3 drops because we need something quite cheap. And yeah, a lot of card draw. So the whole deck is about milking some value from Tainted Indulgence and All-Seeing Arbiter, and mostly Bankbuster. Like this, for the early game, is your big card that makes you like some card advantage. Because we need card advantage in this deck. It's not your typical control, because when you look into the cards closely, like this is 1/1. This is 1/1. Both of them are 1/1. Emperor, sure, you can get a bit more value, but basically mostly it's 1/1. That's how you use it most of the time. Of course, it's often 2/1, but you get the idea. Our big card advantage cards are Bankbuster, Indulgence to a smaller extent, and Sweepers. Because with Sweepers, this is one of the things with this deck. you need to think when you play those sweepers, because sometimes you will lack value if you sweep too little creatures. Sometimes you want to trade additional life from your like hero to just get additional cards from the enemy that you will sweep. And sometimes it's worth it, because when you start lacking this one removal on one big Angel or one big Adeline or whatever, you don't feel very good about it. So this deck really needs to have specific mindset to play. You basically want to draw a lot of cards and then go kill everything one for one, or just sweep in order to get card advantage. And this deck does it really well. I think it has some problems with finishing the game, and you will see it in like few examples when you watch the video. But yeah, it's really strong. And to be honest, like the most important card I think is Bankbuster in this deck, because not only it helps you finish the game, it draws you cards, and that's your big draw engine advantage, and it's pretty cheap after you play it. So that being said, we also have one Farewell in case of any graveyard, like Tenacious, Underdogs, or, you know, everything that is irritating to play with. And we have 4 Voidrant. I think that's something that is maybe worth talking about. We played first of all because it's 3 mana cost, and we want those even costs between like 1 and 6 in the deck. But also the fact that you can answer everything, it's mostly for Planewalkers, to be honest. Like creature or Planewalker is usually how you use it, because as you can see we have a lot of sweepers, we have Farewell, we have Wandering Emperor, but nothing of those things can hit a Planewalker. Yeah, Obscura Charm can, but only the cheap ones. So Emperor or Soaring, which are really popular right now, like Emperor obviously, don't get hit by it. So Voidrant sometimes can be such a big swing in the game, and you really need few of them. And I personally really like the card, so I'm happy to use it. Vanishing Verse is a bit better version for early game removal, and it hits. And one important thing with this deck, you have so much removal, but you still need to think which one you use when, because they have very different conditions. For example, this cannot hit Planewalker, and it's more mana intensive if you kill big creatures. This one is the most less mana intensive if you hit some 1-color creature. So it's not like you can just, you know, randomly use one of them. You need to think exactly what enemy will be doing in next turns and which removal needs to be left in your hand. So it's pretty interesting gameplay, and yeah, I think that's it. That's how the deck works. I really appreciate anyone who stayed until now with all my rambling. I hope you enjoyed it. I think the deck is sweet. Like I had fun playing it, and yeah, if you like this kind of decks, always subscribe and don't miss out on the new ones, because I'm trying to make a video every day. So yeah, a lot of new stuff, and thank you for everyone that subscribed. That's really cool of you. And yeah, let's go into the games. Thank you. Okay, baby, we are competing for top 100 Mythic, or shall I say 86. And yeah, I know it doesn't work like this. We'll keep this one. We have Doomskars, we have lands, we have everything. We need to think about mana though. Probably that's... Well, we have many good plays, so this is not something we want. So maybe Emeria's Call is okay. Yeah, I think Emeria's Call is okay. Normally we want black or blue at the turn 1, so we can cast Tainted Indulgence, but if we have this as a 2 mana play and Bankbuster, if we want to draw cards, we don't really need to waste it. And it proved to be a good decision. So I want to play like this. And there is a reason for this. Okay, enemy probably knows it's a Doomskar, but if he's smart, and he should be, he knows that we need double white. So it's not really obvious if we can cast it. Okay, yeah, he's checking the mana. So he sees that we lack what we need. And that's fine. It's fine. We will cast Tainted Indulgence. Because it is possible we need more cheap removal, depending on what he plays. Like, it could be Redain, right? And against Redain, you probably want to remove Redain before you are dead. See? Always freaking same. Let's get rid of the pathway. Doesn't seem really good right now, and we have enough lands for the next turns. And now enemy knows that we have everything. So basically this is 6 mana because of, you know, reasons. And, well, we need to attack. This will be a problem. He might have another Redain, and then I will cry in my corner. Like, they usually play 4 Talia and like 3 or 2 Redains, so I think killing Redain is a bit better. It's also more mana efficient, let's say. Voidrant. Is it better than March? They have Wandering Emperor, so let's keep it. Oh, right. It's 6 mana. Never mind. Never freaking mind. Oh man, that was awkward. Yeah, because it gets taxed, because when you cast it for 4, it's actually Redain tax included. Yeah, that has to be the way. And having March open might make a difference, but it probably won't. Yep. So he had another Talia. If we targeted Talia, we would be super unhappy about the situation. He sees the March. Okay, so actually we are stabilizing. Yeah, man, we are good. We are fine. We are doing this. So, jokes aside, he will probably split the tokens, right? The counters. And we need to preserve our HP so hard. This is Tapland, so we cannot use March and foretell Doomskar. Maybe we shouldn't even show that we have Doomskar. Man, like, our HP is not the highest. Oh, yes. Freaking yes. Do it. No fear for the Emperor. I see. That's weird. It might mean that he has another Talia and he wants us to kill this one, so he can replay it and after, you know, a dance step. But still, it's a very good deal for us, to be honest. Like, 1 damage a turn is not a pressure, and he had... That wasn't Talia. That actually wasn't Talia. So what is the worst he can do? Play land and adversary and token. This is hit for 4. Doesn't sound so scary. I want to hit the land. Okay. Interesting. Let's do it. You need to be careful about the foretelling Doomskar, because it shows the enemy that you have a sweeper and they start to play differently. So it's what, 4 damage so far. Oh, okay, that's so freaking good. That's perfect. Man, like, that's actually perfect. Because we can sweep everything, kill the Emperor, and get board, while he doesn't have board, which is pretty amazing. Okay, I think this Skyclave was a bit of a misplay. 2 mana, I don't believe he has anything. Yep. And I think that was the turn where we won. Also, mana was perfect for this. And suddenly, enemy has nothing and we have board presence that is higher than his, which is definitely not what you want when you are playing mono white. So I think that we are winning. So easy, guys. Top 100 Mythic, not a problem for this deck. And you know what? I don't mind drawing. I like drawing cards. Oh, that's a card. That's definitely a card. So it can be another Emperor, right? But we don't mind another Emperor with such a big creature. And what costs do we have? We can actually check it here. Okay, 5. We probably get rid of the land. Man, like, this card is doing stuff. Like, honestly, it does. And I will attack. That's how confident I am in this deck. I will freaking attack to show some domination. Good game. Good game, my friend. Honestly, like, this Emperor was a bit sketchy. I think the mistake he made was this apparition. Like, this apparition really brought us into the game. Maybe he thought that we only have one Bankbuster and we lack value, but that was not the case. Other than this, he shouldn't put counters on Talia if he didn't have a new one. Like, he should spread between the Aspirant and Talia, because she's prime target anyway. So you usually want to make it at least 2-2. So, few mistakes in my opinion. Guys, we are at perfect 1000 position in Mythic. 1000. And just before we were 999, so I guess someone ranked up. Anyway, back to the game. We are going first. Oh man, this hand is horrible. This is actually a mulligan. Yep, this is way better. And I think we have to say farewell to our farewell. Man, it's rough. It's rough, but I hope it's not the matchup that this card is extremely needed for. Because I think we don't have any way to shuffle our deck. It means that this game we play deck without farewell. You know, we will see. At least we have Tainted Indulgence on curve, which is pretty sweet. Like, you want to be careful about this first and second land, because like if you played anything that's white, you just won't be able to play your stuff. So let's draw. Raffine Tower is so good at fixing mana, but we cannot remove stuff then. That's brutal. This is 3 or less, so it hits most of the stuff. How good our mana is. Like, we only need Esper mana and double white. So, you know what? I actually think it's okay. It hurts, but I think it's okay. Because in this matchup you want as much removal as possible. We are doing this now. You could ask why this particular removal. Because it's most mana inefficient. All of them destroy something like for 3 mana. If this targets Valkyrie, because they freaking always have it. I don't remember a game when they didn't play this at the turn 3. This pretty much gets best value, right? So we have 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay, so now we go Obscura Charm. Because this is the highest target, mana value 3 or less. So Valkyrie is pretty much best hit. Now we have Voidrent. Like, this is like a tutorial about what removal goes where. And enemy is just freaking having it all. Okay, we could go smart and try to fish for the Emperor, but no, it's pretty stupid play. Like, not for Tainted Indulgence, because we would have to kill it somehow, so that's not worth it. So he plays the Angel, but it doesn't really help him, right? Let's see what he does. It's not Esper, so no chance of any kind of counter spell. Man, like, how is it possible they always have so many Valkyries? Okay, they might have this Orzhov Angel, like 5 mana one, but we can just kill it, right? Not with Vanishing Verse, but with Voidrent. It means that we can nearly safely use the Emperor, I think. It's probably Vanishing Verse. But we don't extremely care, because we get the value, and then his turn is cut in half. And it's still like 1 for 2, so that's good for us. Man, I love this animation. This animation is so sweet. And the previous one, at the new Capenna release, was so freaking obviously wrong. Someone didn't do his job. Oh, that would suggest another Valkyrie, because they didn't really do anything this turn, and they needed only for 1 mana, and they could play a 3 mana Angel. That's weird play. Life gain only makes sense if they have Valkyrie. We have land, right? Oh man, and we are going into draw 2 mode, which is sweet. So man, when I see this, I feel warm inside. This card really feels good. But we do it at the end step to make sure. Each other angel you control enters battlefield. Okay, so it enters the battlefield, so we can kill it in response. That's really important part. Also, enemy might be a bit scared to play stuff. We won't be able to remove something, but we have double removal next turn. Oh man, you can see that mana hurt us a bit. Okay, so what do we have? Yeah, we can go for the double. I don't want to give him, you know, to give him what? You know what I mean. You know what I mean. Additional mana. It shouldn't be big factor here, but let's be honest, any angel that he will play needs to be like removed together with Gyada, because she will make those angels pretty big. So we might as well do it right now. And with Tainted Indulgence, we are happy to trade 1 for 1. We could also go for the Doomskar. Oh, sure. You cannot really respond to it, so let's see what he chooses. Like, it's pretty obvious, I guess, but who knows. Okay, so do we give him another trigger? Like, we have to kill her at some point. The only problem will be that right now he can play a lot of angels and we don't have spot removal. Yep. But those aren't the angels that are problem. The Orzhov one is an issue. Man, if we attack, then they are just 2-4. Is this legit play? Like, honestly, I think it is. He cannot buff them so much, and we are at 20. That was first time in my life I've done such aggressive strange play, but with Valkyrie it actually makes sense because they cannot turn it on, and this means that they need to waste the board, which is pretty much the same as playing removal, right? Just, you know, 7 mana, remove a token, but it's still value. Oh man, you want to raise? It's Vanishing Verse probably. But I'm fine. If he plays it, that's fine. Because this means that he gets rid of the hold. Yep. That wasn't really our win condition. It's just, you know, why not? And it means that he will flood the board right now, I think, because we are tapped. And then we Doomskar, and then we probably win. That's unfortunate, okay? This one hurts because it's like 0 card investment. Okay. Okay. Do we want to keep this? I don't think we cycle, right? In any way. Not anymore, at least. So we probably can safely play it. We don't have enough black, I think. So, let's sweep and see what's up. Like, this deck is pretty solid on card advantage. And to be perfectly honest, it might be a mistake. What I've done is, to be honest, I did it a bit too quickly. It was a mistake because now enemy knows that we have another Doomskar. And I really want some removal. Okay, that's why Obscura Charm sometimes is not a great card. But don't worry, do not worry. So I will not foretell this one, just so the enemy doesn't know that we have more. Man, like, we are not hitting Bankbusters in this whole game. Not a single one. And that's fine. But we are definitely going longer than I would expect. Like with this deck. Moment we hit Bankbuster, we get back into... well, get back into game, I guess. Like, man... we are not getting great draws from the top of our deck. By the way, we have 4 Bankbusters. Yeah, none of them. When enters the battlefield, create token flying. Yeah. A lot of damage. Like, this is not the biggest problem for us. So, that's hard choice. Let's see what we draw. I don't want to use spot removal. Let's cycle. That's a good part about Triumph. Wow, you can draw a non-Triumph. Like, if those top decks continue, we might actually lose this easy game. Like, we are drawing lands since I think 5 turns or something. And that's a lot of damage already. I think this is only Angel that we cannot hit with this. So that's good. Do we take 6 damage? I think we do. It's probably 7 or 8, yeah? But we don't have any guarantee on the value, so like it is possible that the enemy plays more creatures onto the board. And if he doesn't, we effectively gain 1 turn for this 6 life or something. Thank you. Thank you. It's much better then. Okay, so like enemy is keeping some angels. If we play this, yeah, I think we do it like this. Like we can trade quite nicely. And yeah, I know that we get to sacrifice our angels. But it makes this awkward. Okay, that's nice. So, non-angel creatures you control gain indestructible. And all of them are angels. That's very good. So that was the point. I wanted to bait him into more creatures, because if we do play like this, it means we don't have a sweeper. And I thought that he was hoarding stuff. So we double block. And the enemy knows what it means. Oh boy, he does know what it means. Yep, I will sacrifice all my creatures. Because we are drawing lands every freaking single turn. So we need to really milk every single card that we got to draw this game. Yes? Like that's how confident I am in my top decks. Yep. Let's see the other card. The other card is a big if. I just want to stress 4 Bankbusters. Bankbusters. Okay. That was quality content. Can I draw something that is not a land? Thank you. See? It feels much better now, right? It's still not a Bankbuster, which is definitely like pretty much a 3 card draw or 2 positive. And that's the point where Obscura Charm is actually a really good card. And like this game is dragged out for so much. Where were you? Every single game I played today. Oh man, like this freaking card. Okay, and finally we can draw some lands. But don't worry, if when we draw 2 cards a turn and we start getting rest of the Bankbusters, it will be fine. It will be fine. So do we remove it? I honestly think we do. With 2 cards a turn and enemy not paying anything. And by the way, that was a mistake. It should be done at the end step. But I'm recording, so I didn't notice it really. We always freaking cycle. See? It's not so hard. It's not so freaking hard. And we are just smorking enemy with Bankbusters after they keep drawing all lands. Let's make a stop, because I'm pretty freaking sure that I will keep drawing lands. 3 cards a turn, but it's fine. What we have on... Oh man, this Legion Angel can outvalue our next 10 top decks at this rate. That's a really good draw for him. You know, we have Farewell, right? Oh man, that's unfortunate. I hope that we draw good cards. And this has been the most awkward game of my life. Okay, and we want to do it now. Because then otherwise we have to sacrifice a pilot. And we get this Bankbuster in case we draw something like this. Man, like this is freaking weird. So let's get, you know, more lands. I heard they are good in Magic the Gathering. On the bright side, I think that's all lands from our deck. So it's 6, 10, 14. 14. Okay, that's not so bad when I think about it. Yep. So we have what, 2 angels to go? And like, this card was a bit of value. Yeah, he's tapped out, so let's draw. Let's make a pilot. That's a reasonable draw. Oh, this is actually a really good draw. Because it gets rid of the angel in an exile manner. So we actually don't need, you know, to sacrifice anything. We will go like this. This has lower converted mana cost, so Obscura Charm can kill it. You know, might make a difference. Sure, like, we are just Bankbuster deck. That's the worst part, when you don't draw them at the start. Then you start drawing all of them at the same time. And finally we have something that we wanted. Okay. Let's make this guy. Finally good cards. Okay, that's really good. Okay, so we actually needed only 42 cards to get our win conditions. Good. Destroy target creature with power less than this creature. He will probably not want to trade, I think. So we can safely crew with this one. Attack. No. You aren't attacking, man. Like, okay, that's what I wanted. Nice. Okay, and now we are thinking. It's power, right? So, draw 2 cards, then discard. Whenever you discard, target creature gets -X, different mana values. -7 sounds pretty good. It's also whenever it attacks, so it's actually really good. Oh man, can you believe that we have good cards finally in the deck? Yep. So that's not a problem. And Wandering Emperor is something we can still use. And we can sacrifice the pilots anytime we want. Okay, now it was so awkward, but I think that we are finally stabilizing and getting what we wanted in the first place. Especially with Sanctuary Warden, like, we are doing stuff. And we can take over the game. Legion Angel was really good draw from him. By the way, in top half of the deck, I'm not complaining at all. But we are getting this below 1000 position. We are winning this baby. Okay, so we could make stuff, but we probably want first strike, right? This is a bit problem. Oh, it has flying. Who would know? Definitely not me, a player that uses it. Okay, so I think we are really good here. So we are exiling this one. You could ask why. I have no idea. Frankly, I don't think it makes a difference. Like, we are not really manas. Okay. I see. So let's crew. Because it will die. Someone could say that mistakes were made. And this one has vigilance. It means that Wandering Emperor cannot hit it. But we are just going for the angel then. So it's probably okay. And I think we just go all in with the Bankbusters. Can you feel this Bankbuster powers? Smark. It's pretty good, because it forces enemy to, like, kill us next turn, or he's dead. So we can generate 12 damage. That's a lot. Okay, so this has Vigilance and it will have double strike, so it perfectly kills us. We could exile our own stuff. So if he takes the Vanishing Verse, he can kill the Angel, and this doesn't give you an HP. If we go for the Wandering Emperor and exile our own creature, I don't think we can lose, to be honest. And he can have Emeria's Call. Lisa would be such a big problem. How many Vanishing Verse he had? 1, 2, and March. Like, March is not a problem. I don't think he should... I don't think he should top deck it. Famous last words, right? And let's actually waste one of the cards, because I think we'll be attacking. I need more lands in my hand. I heard lands are really good. Okay. Double strike. It also means that he can remove two shield counters. Unless we play the Emperor, of course. Man, I am pretty stupid. Like, we can play Emperor on top of the Warden. We have so much mana, and we drew so freaking much that it's not an issue. Yep. Wandering Emperor, because why not? That's a top deck. Okay, sure. Let's see what he does. +1 doesn't really change too much. Like, this dies anyway. He should make a token to block and survive one more turn. Yeah, so we just play Emperor, +1. But it doesn't really make a difference. This guy dies and we attack with everything. Man, this game felt like it was 15 minutes longer than it should because of our great draws. And you can see how deck reliant is on Bankbusters to finish the game and to get card advantage. Okay, I really like the Triumph and let's start. We probably are against creature decks, because they are all creature decks. So this hand should be really good. And this is perfect for Vanishing Verse and March. So, like, on the start game side, it feels really good. Okay, so we know exactly what we are against. The same thing we are always against. But it could be Angel. Oh, yeah, exactly. It could also be Angels, right? Okay, so let's think. For this one, like, we could let him go white. What is the best punish from him? So he goes Valkyrie, and then we sweep. I think we need to go for value. So I will let him get this additional mana. I think it will be the enchantment, if he has it. Unfortunately, players in Mythic actually realize that I will sweep them, and they don't overcommit, which is much harder than playing against people that do commit. Okay, so how much damage it will be next turn? 5? 9. 9 damage, but he needs to play more into the sweeper. And you know what? I do like it. Because right now we have very good tempo, but not exactly the biggest value on earth. And this land is really important. Let's go for white. We overall have like Vanishing Verse idea behind the deck. So he will have 5 mana next turn, but we can Void Rend the new Angel. I think I need to check the name. Like Lee something. I will know after this game. How can you use those? Man, I never see the stars on those. Was it always here? Okay, anyway. It's not enough. I like not enough. It means that he should play another creature before attacking. Oh man, we are baiting him. I hope. Are we? Emperor! Haha! Okay, we can play around it. Enemy thinks we have Emperor. But to be honest, we need to sweep the board anyway. Because he kills us next turn if we don't do anything. And this is sorcery speed. Man, we could play around him thinking that we have Emperor. So how much damage is it actually? Like this will be 4, 9, and this will be 6, so 15. No, we cannot. Oh man, that would be such an epic bait. But unfortunately, no epic baits for us. It's still 3 for 1. And as you can see, enemy was on the draw and he's having 6 cards and we have 5. So we really needed this high value play to get back into like value game. Yep, counters are fine. Eiganjo is pretty decent. I guess we have a sweeper. But we will draw lands. Don't you worry, we will. So I think what we are actually doing here, no, like that's pretty stupid. That's pretty stupid. We will use Eiganjo as a remover probably. Enemy, we can still try using Emperor as a bait. Because this attack perfectly goes into like Emperor. And the enemy is trying to bait us into like sweeping small boards. Let's see the counters and let's see if he attacks. I'm pretty sure he will. Yeah, I think he set up the bait for the Emperor. Void Rent is premium in this situation, so oh man, I'm freaking dummy. Like, I'm such a dummy sometimes. I wanted to make this play and now I'm just all here rambling and not doing stuff that I said I will. There are reasons why I'm doing this. When enemy goes below the 27, it really helps us. It pressures him to play more angels into the board to get this bonus. Like, Valkyrie is pretty much how the deck works. So well. So, yeah. He needs to play angels into the board to get the life gain. And it means that our sweepers get better. Yep. They always freaking have it. And it depends now how... Oh man, like, he wants to protect it from any stuff. Like, we are happy with this. We are extremely happy. Whatever he plays, we probably kill Valkyrie. But he's forced to play into something. If we drew a land, I would play differently. Then we would just go for farewell. So this is what? 3. So it's not enough. See? Enemy needs to play another angel if he wants to activate the Valkyrie. Man, like, those angel players in this rank, like, they are doing stuff. And see, he still thinks we have the Emperor. That's so good. 1 damage. Incoming. Oh no, I'm so freaking dead. Do we want to kill the Valkyrie? Like, I think we can bait enemy into the Emperor turns, and at some point we have to draw land. Okay, that's very important. We have 3 blue, 3 black. And I think we need more black, because it's usually black and white for all you fans from before. Okay, I will bait him even more. Yes, this is how we want to play Control. We want to bait enemy into playing stuff that works together, and then you remove this one particular part that makes everything good. Oh man, Starheim Angels, right? That has to be it. That's a smart play. Let's see if he attacks. Yeah, that's what I thought. So, next turn he can make 2 for 4 angels from this card. So we don't really want to sweep, I think, now. This would mean that we remove it like this. Because I want Sanctuary Angel. We could play Farewell, but then he plays the big angels and we need to do exactly the same thing. And now the question, do we kill the Valkyrie? I think he wants to play the Angel next turn, so he gets a lot of life. So we can remove one shield counter, then he doesn't attack, then we can attack and get another shield counter, I guess. How good really is it? I honestly think we get a bit more value if we play it this way. Because right now we are fighting for value and you always want to keep this one freaking sweeper. And the moment we start drawing cards, we should really overwhelm him. Like, we are fine with 1 for 1. Oh, sure. So, will he play land and Starheim? I think he will, because like single target removal means that we don't have a sweeper. This Vanishing Verse was pretty good for them. Control dice. Die is a very important word. So he will feel very confident for playing into the board. And for this reason we play like this. I would love to draw a card, but we might not hit a land. And that might be unfortunate because Vanishing Verse doesn't kill this. So we will see. He might also activate the cave, like there is stuff that he might be doing. Overall, I would prefer to just draw a card and then step. 2 caves are a bit intimidating. Okay, that's good. Farewell just became a bit better. Man, like, he is really pacing out the cards. Like, he still has this Starheim. It's like his game-winning play that he wants. You wanna see cool trick? You wanna see a magic trick? Ha! See, we are outplaying Mythic, guys. That's a pretty cool trick. What? It's fucking tapped. Yep. I think we need to combine this and this. Okay. I think that wasn't the best play of my life. I'm not gonna lie. So the idea was that we crew, but yeah, you need untapped creature. So it doesn't need to just be a creature. So I really frog tap. Like, I tried to be smart and you can see how it went. The truth always comes around. So enemy can go for the cave and we are at 1 HP, but it means that he doesn't do anything this turn. So if we have removal for next turn at instant speed, it's really bad for the enemy. And we will keep drawing cards because we need the 6th land and we draw quite a lot of lands. At this point, enemy probably sees that we have Emperor mana. I wonder what he will do. If he taps out completely, like, we are super fine with this. Yep. We also gain 2 life, which is quite sweet. Like, the tapping out really puts you behind in the game. So you really do it only when you have to. Let's make a +1. And so far we are pretty happy with the outcome. I will actually draw. Maybe we hit land. Yep, and we did. Which makes things even easier. Okay, I think even though I frogged up so much, I deserve to lose it so much. Like, I'm even at this moment like totally ashamed of being able to win this. But you know, mono white wins as well, so there's no justice in world. And let's go for this. Voidwind is such a good card, like it can hit anything. The only difference is exile effect, right? So enemy is also short on mana now. And well, we are freaking the Angel deck right now. Okay, and this time it works, okay? This time I did it right. I hope. And I won't put the counter. I want more armor, so we can kill him a bit faster overall. Man, it feels so bad. I didn't deserve this win. And that's a good testimony of how good the deck is, if I can play so bad and still win the game. And now he's just forced to play into the board. Like, he really paced all the aggression really well. I have to give it to him. So, what do we do? Oh, no, 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 no. No, 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 we are going for the value, baby. We are going for the value. He thinks that we want to disable his HP. But in... oh, nice. I thought he will block with Giada. Okay, so that's 9 damage. Okay, so what is the idea here? Like, Vanishing Verse seems best, right? How many he has? Lisa. That's the only card that Vanishing Verse doesn't hit, and the Retribution, I guess. So actually, let's do it like this. It also doesn't show that we don't have another one. No, like, we are misplaying it so hard, but we are still winning so hard. He still has his last weapon, but I think he tries to use it as a win condition, you know? Like the last resort after we cast all our sweepers. So that's really smart of him. But I think he just lacks the cards to do his strategy. Like, we have so much card draw that whatever he does, it's just not enough, you know? Land is pretty good here. Okay, so we like attack with everything, right? That seems to be a good idea. Let's go for Angels, because they like deal the most damage. We have Emperor and 1 removal, and that's enough to survive 1 turn. The only easy block is this and Valkyrie. I don't think he wants to block, it's 14 damage. He won't activate Valkyrie anyway, and he wants to kill us, so I think that's correct. And we don't really want to use Emperor here. And if he starts trading Angels, that's game-losing strategy, so he has to like go all in this turn. And both of them tap when attacking, so I'm pretty hopeful. So I expect Starheim Unleashed this turn for everything. And then we just kill some creatures and smork him. Probably something like this. We have 2 sweepers, so we cannot really lose on the board. Yep, exactly. Also, he will be attacking. But, to, like, really honest, guy played really nicely, and we actually played poorly. Like, that was a game-losing play when I crewed the Beholder. And the deck is so good it carries me anyway, which is awesome. Okay, believe or not, this is how we do it. Enemy is tapped out, and I will tell you why in a second. Entered battlefield this turn, because Void Rend can hit Vigilance creatures, but Emperor cannot. So yeah, definitely top 600 plays here, like definitely. Definitely.